What do you see the impact of AI?
I don't see it taking over for creative. I do see it building the opportunity for jobs. So the people that are saying I'm working for Uber Eats right now, I think if they train themselves in AI, there will be jobs available for them. It's going to open up a new avenue for employment. It is helping with the more mundane things. Will that change? Maybe, but right now I think that I think we're okay. I really do. I think that it's helping to make things easier. And it's funny because even in journalism, people use GPT chat as a head start. And I was like, I don't think I could do that. I wasn't even on it until very recently. And it's sort of amazing what you could do. Not in a good way amazing. It's because it's not real writing. It's not how people write, humans write. So I think that that's pretty clear. And I believe that that's the same with video as well.
What is PostPerspective?
Well, it's a magazine, but it's way more than that. We also do a lot of events where we like to put users in a room with people that make the equipment that they use. We want them to have a voice in products that are being made for them, and it also helps make the manufacturers smarter at what they do. They want to know pain points, how people buy stuff. So it's sort of a thing of beauty because both sets of people benefit.
I didn't realize you did conferences.
Yeah, they're not conferences. They're more like intimate dinners. Sometimes they're cocktail events where you've got a demo station set up. People come in, you hand them a cheese wedge and a beer, and you introduce them to the folks, and they get a demo, and then they network, and they make friends. And that's what this whole, this business is relationship built.
That's true.
So that's what we're trying to do.
You have a unique position in the industry in that you talk to a lot of different vendors, you talk to a lot of different users. How would you describe the media market today, media production and media post?
Well, I think it's no secret that things are struggling a bit, LA, New York especially. So people are finding different ways to make livings, which is sort of sad. So people that have been in this business for ages, suddenly they're looking at real estate. They're doing Uber Eats just to sort of make it until things turn around. I do think the production is starting to pick up, but it's going to be between COVID and the strikes, we took a hit.
But where is it recovering? I'm not saying that it isn't, but it's not recovering everywhere at the same speed. What's coming back faster and what's coming back slower?
Well, it's funny. So at SIGGRAPH, which was in Denver this year, I don't know if you know Chris from Halon Entertainment. He said it was pretty dark for a little bit, but they were starting to book productions. So just based on conversations that I'm having with people, little by little, the work's coming back. They're ramping up, but it's still not great. So people are waiting it out. They love this industry. They've invested their lives into it. So they're finding different ways to make a living until things even out.
One of the things that we've heard a lot about is the democratization of the industry, which I think is a two-edged sword in that the tools are becoming easier to use and ever more powerful, but they don't require the same level of expertise, which means a lot of people are overtrained for what they need to do. How's the industry reacting to that?
Well, it's funny. So we have a piece on our site called Behind the Title, and we often ask people about how they work, how they got in the industry, that kind of stuff. Also, are they doing more than what their title says? And almost always it's yes. No one ever just does what their title says. So editors are also looking for temp audio. They're working with VFX. They're cleaning up blemishes. And it's very rare that someone's like, nope, I'm just editing. So I think that people have branched out. I also think that people want to grow their tool set. So they're not just using, let's say, Media Composer. They're adding Premiere. They're adding Resolve. But all these systems have more than just editing to them.
What do you see the impact of AI?
I don't see it taking over for creative. I do see it building the opportunity for jobs. So the people that are saying I'm working for Uber Eats right now, I think if they train themselves in AI, there will be jobs available for them. It's going to open up a new avenue for employment. It is helping with the more mundane things. Will that change? maybe, but right now I think that I think we're okay. I really do. I think that it's helping to make things easier. And it's funny because even in journalism, people use GPT chat as a head start. And I was like, I don't think I could do that. I wasn't even on it until very recently. And it's sort of amazing what you could do. Not in a good way amazing. It's because it's not real writing. It's not how people write, humans write. So I think that that's pretty clear. And I believe that that's the same with video as well.
Are you seeing AI diversifying? We think of generative AI and AI creating pictures and creating movies and creating voiceovers. But from what I'm hearing, AI is really doing more than that. Even if you take the creative aspect out, the automation and the intelligent automation is something which can be used. Are you seeing more differentiation in how AI is applying itself to the industry?
Well, yeah, a perfect example is Scale Logic has something called Kyra 1, and it's essentially media management, but it's super smart AI-based media management. So you could ask it anything, and it's going to find that footage. You could, any sort of description, and it'll find it fast. So that kind of stuff is saving people time. It is a smarter way to work.
There's two questions I'm going to ask, so I'm going to tell you what they both are, then I'm going to ask the first one. The first one, what concerns you about the industry? And the second is, what makes you optimistic about the industry? What are some of the concerns that you see bubbling up?
I see good people leaving. That's my concern. I've heard that real estate licenses in LA have grown quite a bit. So that concerns me because I can't imagine working in any other industry. And I know that they feel the same, but they need to pay their mortgage and they need to feed their kids. So they're finding different ways, and that's really sad.
It is sad, but surely there's some reasons for optimism as well. What are those?
I do think that things are going to shake out. I think that we're in a transition period right now with how productions are made and approved. I was talking to people yesterday who were saying that more people are creating their own content, owning it, and then shopping it around versus some of the big streamers ordering a whole bunch of different content and then not doing it. So they're taking control of their own destiny in a certain way. Maybe that's the way. Maybe that's a positive. I do think it's going to turn around. Look, we took a bunch of hits. It's going to be a bit.
One of the things that we saw at NAB in Las Vegas is what NAB called the creator economy. People who are creating media, which is going on social media. It isn't going on broadcast. It isn't going in theaters. Right. And the creator economy, one could easily argue, is exploding. Whereas the high-end side of the market is going through some contractions. How can we benefit by the creator economy?
Well, it's interesting, and being here, we have a booth at NAB New York, and a lot of people that have stopped by aren't from networks or from post houses. They are from companies. They are from, Gatorade-type corporations who make a ton of video, and they're busy, and they haven't felt the hit. There has been no dip for those guys. So I do think that a lot of people are finding their way to more corporations, more product videos, stuff like that. Yes, there is a lot of content on YouTube and TikTok and stuff. And then you've got the folks from Corridor Digital who made their name in YouTube, and they're creating a lot of stuff, including with AI, and having fun with it. And they're sort of training AI to do what they want it to do. So there is opportunity. So yes, that's what your point was, and I do, yes.
If you were to summarize what PostPerspective is, what's the one thought you want people to keep in mind?
It's a community. And what's funny is a lot of people have been thanking PostPerspective for, first of all, still being around and for telling the story of the creatives, because there's so few left, like us, right? We're here to prop up the creative that's being done and the people that are doing that work. And I think that's important. So people... I think they come to PostPerspective to see what other people are doing, what they might be able to do, and then with these events that we do, we're putting them together. Everybody's meeting everybody, and it's such a small industry that somebody's worked with somebody before that, they get together, and it's sort of a thing of beauty to watch. So yes, it's good for the company and it's good for the users, but it's also good for networking and relationships that they're rekindling from 20 years ago.
What's the strength of Perspective?
I think the strength is that we talk to people and we listen, and I don't come up with an editorial calendar at the beginning of the year like I used to, old school, when I worked in print. I just want to be able to cover what's new, what's interesting. I don't want to, okay, this month is reality. I don't want to do that. Everything's changing so quickly. It would be a silly way to cover the industry. So I just like being flexible. I like talking to everybody. There was somebody here who was doing, I can't even remember, but they were like, oh, you wouldn't want to talk to me. I'm like, that's not true. You're based in Virginia. We don't get to talk to a lot of people based in Virginia. It's often the coasts. So tell me how you edit and what you edit down there in Virginia, and let's cover that. So I take pride in the fact that we don't just cover the big stories, that we also cover the little ones. Because if the pyramid is, if you look at the pyramid, Marvel's here and everyone else is down here. So that's a story to tell.